My name is Madelaine Vallin, and I'm the founder of the Australian School of Holistic Counselling. In this 5-part series, we allow students and graduates of our college to share their life journey of changing the world, one courageous step at a time. I hope that their stories inspire you to follow your dreams and remind you that there's always an opportunity to grow, no matter what life throws at you. If you're a heart-centered and driven individual with a calling to work and thrive as a therapist, coach, or counsellor, please visit our website at www.ashc.com.au. Enjoy the show. So welcome, Liz Ross.
Thank you for having me, Madelaine. This is epic.
It's great to have you here. I love being in your presence. You know, I know you fairly well at this stage, but the listeners don't, and the people watching might not. So tell them, you know, share a little bit about who you are and what you wanted to create in this world.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you again, Madelaine. So about me, I'm Liz Ross. I'm 32 years old, just turned 32 on 31st of October. And my background is, I guess I was like a foster child or at state of ward. I was in care since 2 weeks of age, due to both my parents, you know, having mental health issues and unable to raise me. And I guess I've always wanted to help people from there. I was brought up in a really good home, and I was given education and opportunities and things like that, which I might not have got if I was brought up with my birth parents, who I've met before when I was 4. So we did regular access visits and stuff. So that was really good. For my identity growing up, it was good to know that I had 2 mums and dads that loved me, and it really encouraged me as well to come out of my shell. It was definitely hard at times, and I definitely struggled with my confidence and things like that, and emotions, but I think I've definitely come out the other end, and I'm always healing and discovering new things about myself in those areas as well. That led me into finishing my ASHC. I went to uni, so I've got a background as a registered nurse. And then I've always wanted to do more like coaching and counselling. So from there, actually what led me to work, because I did look into just traditional counselling, but I felt like it didn't really resonate with who I am. I'm very like holistic and open-minded. So I actually went through a massive workplace bullying incident, and I realised after I did my own inner healing journey for 6 months, where I did absolutely nothing but take care of myself, I decided to go down life coaching and holistic counselling. And I did lots of research and looked into the Australian Holistic School of Counselling, and it resonated with me. So And I love it. Like, so I'm up to my postgraduates now in the master's level. So I've done the diploma in holistic counselling, and I now help empower women to heal and transform their lives. So that's pretty much my mission, is to help people. But yeah, so that's my little snippet.
So you said that, because I know that you obviously you haven't finished the course yet. You're doing this, but you're on your way. I love the fact that you've already started your private practice. You've obviously got more education as well. I know that you've studied Reiki as well, which is something that you're combining with the counselling part. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I've done Reiki 1 and 2 Yusai. So it's the Japanese energy healing. So I've done the distance healing. So I pretty much mostly do it now distance through my Zoom calls with COVID-19, just sending that universal love and connection. And I feel like it helps with my intuition and tuning into people's energy and how they're feeling. And depending on my clients' belief systems, if they're interested in energy, I would talk about like energy and how it links to emotions. And I do a lot of timeline therapy for people, so healing beliefs and emotions and things like that. So I enjoy that part of it.
Yeah, great. So you found a way to sort of combine all those different modalities, different tools that you've gathered along the way.
Yeah, and I feel like with the holistic diploma of counselling and now doing the masters, I feel like I'm more confident because it's given me those extra foundations of like understanding like a structure and understanding human behavior and psychology on a deeper level, and doing the weekend workshops in groups and learning more like in depth. I feel like I'm providing a better service, a better quality service.
And you've had a caring profession for most of your life. I mean, you were a nurse.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still a nurse, right? So you're combining.
I'm combining it with nursing. So I did have 2 nursing jobs and now I've got 1, which is pretty cool. So I was working a lot without, and I won't mention hospitals out of confidentiality, but I was working in a COVID swab clinic somewhere in New South Wales, Australia, because I'm from New South Wales, Australia. And I was working there for 8 months and I helped so many people. And I wasn't just swabbing people, I was educating them, supporting them, listening to them. So I was utilizing all my counselling and coaching skills. Some people would come in crying, or they'd be angry and upset and fearful. And all I would do would listen. And sometimes I'd get them to breathe or get them to visualize something to keep them calm. And usually my other workers, other team members would come and tell me, that person that came in angry or upset has just left really happy and relaxed. And it got me processing and thinking over that 8 months while that job was open, that this is what I want to do. Like, I want to support people more in this way. And then crazily enough, the job became redundant because they no longer needed that swab clinic in that area. They'd opened up other hubs, and I'd helped from 5 years of age up to like 100 years of age, all different mums and dads and children that came in, and elderly people, teenagers, young people, middle-aged people, just all age groups, and people that were autistic or had learning difficulties, just the whole works. I was able to be present with them. And honestly, it's probably one of my best favorite jobs that I've done. Like, yeah, it was awesome. So when they said that your job is now redundant, I saw it as an opportunity. And they said, did you want to go back to the floor and run around? And I was like, not really. I might resign, but thank you. And so now I'm focusing more just on my 1 nursing job, so mostly weekend work. And then I do counselling and life coaching through the week online.
Just before you were about to tell your story, I was about to ask you to tell that story, because I think that's so beautiful. It really proves the fact that we can make a difference, a real positive difference in people's lives in really simple ways, if you just choose to see things as an opportunity instead of, a must or a task. It's a change in mindset.
Yeah, that's right. So even when I started off at the front desk, when everyone in the front of that hospital would come in, and if they were crying, I'd just sit there and listen. And like, I loved it, because I wasn't really, all I was doing was saying, this is where you go and make sure you do your COVID check-in. But I realize there's more than systems, and we need hospitals, we need nurses and doctors, and I love, and I've learnt, and I can take that experience with me. And I also feel we need more life coaches and counsellors, and, just to really be present for people, because some people don't have that opportunity to be heard or to be understood or to feel valued and loved and appreciated.
So you're working in a one-on-one practice, supporting clients. You've got your other nursing job. How do you fit it all in?
Yeah, I like that. That's good. I pretty much, like you say, I've got different support, like yourself, the weekly Thursday calls in Australian School Holistic Counselling. So we get weekly calls as a bonus, by the way. I should have mentioned that. And I've got a business coach, and I've got, what else? Oh, and I've got another coach who helps with mindset coaching, like money mindset coaching. And I just attend those weekly calls. and I hang out with like-minded people, surround myself with people with the same interests and values, and I learn from them. And that's where I got my time management from. So I put everything in my calendar, in my phone and on my laptop now. And we have goals each week that we achieve. And if we don't achieve them, we reflect on it and create more one client at a time type goals. And I go surfing. I've just started surfing, and I do singing. So I do a lot of self-care. So I map out, say, 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. on my work hours. And then before that, I can go for a surf or to the gym, or in the afternoon, I can surf if I finish early. And so my group or my one-on-one sessions with my coach or counsellor is also self-care. And then I aim to have 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. That's what I aim for, and just drink lots of water.
Yeah. So you take a lot of time to off, I want to say, but you map a lot of time for self-care, it sounds like.
Yeah, because I think it's important, because I didn't want to get burnt out, like in that bullying incident, again, in a hospital system, in a specialized area, again, no names. That got me to the point where I was studying full-time in the postgraduate of that particular healthcare certificate. I was working on the job, driving an hour and a half there and back, and then 7 months intensive by an educator and a manager getting put down. So that was really stressful. And then I started to get panic attacks and things, couldn't sleep. And then, so now I've read the signals of my body of when to slow down, when to breathe, inhale, exhale, mind you, in the background with Madelaine. And, I chose to go on antidepressants for 18 months because I got so burnt out. This was 3 years ago, that I didn't have any strategies in place. Like I was gone. So I went on antidepressants and saw a psychologist under a GP. And then I realized I don't want to stay on this forever. Like what can I do to help myself? So I did meditation and yoga and slowly weaned off it with a doctor. Did my own self-healing for 6 months, took 6 months off, and then went down the coaching, Reiki and counselling. So I think from that burnout and bullying experience of not taking care of myself, I've now made it a priority to listen to my body, take rest when I need it. I listen a lot to the moon phases. I'm a big believer in, we're about to come into a new moon. So that's usually a time of rest and introspection. So a lot of yin energy. So I will take a lot of rest or creation and journaling time. So I might create programs and structures for things. And then during the full moon or just before the full moon, I might be more active. So doing a lot more like sales calls and advertising more and more on social media. So yeah, I utilize the moon phases as well. But yeah, I found that from my past history of being burnt out, I've now prioritized myself first, so then I don't get to that again.
Yeah. So there's a bigger reason why you are adding those, big times or days of self-care, because you know what it's like to be on the other side of that, where, being faced with burnout is not something that I would wish upon anyone. I understand what you're meaning. And it really, once you have done that to yourself, because at the end of the day, we're responsible for ourselves. And, but once you've done that, that is a warning sign that I think, we deserve to take seriously when that happens.
Yeah, definitely. And I call it the traffic lights. So I wasn't listening to the green light, which was like, you should maybe go to bed earlier tonight and, ask for an extension on your assignment, go see the EAP counsellor instead of waiting right till the end. And then I didn't listen to the amber light, which is like, all right, like this is not safe. You need help. And I went into the red zone where I started to actually have the panic attacks, and I wasn't in a good headspace. So now I know I utilize, am I in the green, the amber, or the red? So usually I'm in green or amber. And then I'm like, okay, time for a rest, time for a holiday. So I'm scheduling out a week off next week actually for a holiday, like a proper holiday instead of just 2 days off.
Great.
I'm going to schedule those out at least 4 times a year, just take a week off, 2 weeks. I think it's important.
Absolutely. Yeah. It is really important to take that time out. It's important for everybody. But in particular, when we've been in a situation where we've seen the other side of that, which is it's not a nice place to be, and like I said, it's nothing that you wish upon anyone. So I mean, I'm glad to see that. And by the way, that doesn't mean that we can't build a profitable business, because at the end of the day, there's different ways to build a business. Some people choose to build a private practice full with sort of one-on-one clients, kind of back to back, and they do hour sessions more in a therapeutic way, which is absolutely fine. Some people choose to work with people on contracts over a longer period of time, and they have a little bit of a different way to work. And none of it is good or bad. We just have to feel what's right for us and how we want to create, how we want to help people, basically.
I love how you say that, like feeling into it and create. I'm all about that.
Yeah,
it's good.
There's no size fits all in this industry, and I think if we can just be open to that and say, do you know what, I'm going to find my way to do this and my way of helping. I think that's beautiful, and I feel that you have that passion to help people. You know what you're wanting to do, and that will evolve through your life. You might get even clearer, and shift sometimes for you. But I think following that passion of wanting to make a difference and utilizing the gifts that you have.
That's so empowering. It's so empowering and powerful, because that gives each of us, when I heard you say, like, you got to feel into, it's a good reminder, like feel into like what it is that you want to create, feel into what feels right for you in your business, that gives each of us our power back. I felt empowered. I'm like, I want to be Lizzie. I want to be Liz Ross. And it came back to some of our sessions where I was listening to too much noise. I was following too many people, that I was comparing myself, and I wasn't focusing on, okay, what is it that I value? What is it that I'm good at? What is my zone of genius is another thing that Madelaine has taught us students as well. So I just feel like what you just said then was really empowering. So thank you for that reminder. Like, just like stay on your path, do what feels right for you. I think it's a good reminder for all of us. Because like you said, again, there's no one size that fits all. There
isn't. And that's the beauty of this profession. We can really, we can afford to tune into what we really want to do. I think the combination of, we're all going to be, I guess we're all heart-centered doing this form of course, right? We're all heart-centered. That's in, coaches, therapists, and counselors. We're all pretty much heart-centered individuals. But if we can combine that with our passion and drive, that great drive that we have, that passion that we have, and with our vision, like once we do that, that's that magic formula that once we get that, we can create something quite extraordinary, because not only are we going to help people, but we're also going to be in a position where we love what we do, and we're finding our own voice, because it's the finding of our own voice that's so important. That need to be able to express ourselves fully on this planet. It's really important, alongside helping other people and supporting others, because we can do that in so many ways. I mean, we're all here to help people, right? But we just have to find our way, our expression, our how to do that. And I think that is a journey that everyone's on, but everyone's journey is completely different.
And you're spot on, because that was another session we did together, was Madelaine helped me to express my voice. I was very shy, and like parts of me didn't have confidence growing up from my childhood into adulthood. And so Madelaine gave me an opportunity and the space to express myself where I felt heard. And it felt liberating and empowering, and to speak my own words instead of copycatting like all of these inspiring counselors and coaches. I now see that I'm also inspiring, and I've got my own flavor and voice and words to speak. That will help me and my clients and other people. Yeah,
absolutely.
So that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's your, you know, you have your own voice. You have, and that voice that you have, your expression will land with the people that you're, you know, you're here to help on this planet. So I think that's beautiful. That's great. So tell me, what's your vision? What do you want to, you know, what's next for Liz Ross?
Yeah. I'm actually going to be starting a group program next year. Okay, so February the 22nd, 2022, because I'm all into numbers. And I thought it's after Christmas, it's after the school holidays, people are back at work. So I'm going to do a 12-week online course for women to start with, because that's sort of where I want to niche women. And yeah, so we'll do some group, it'll be a lot of like inner healing, self-expression, inner child work, stuff like that. And then I'm going to do a 6-week in-person meditation group as well. So where I'll meet people week to week, depending how COVID is in New South Wales. And if I'm unable to do that face-to-face, then I'll do it online as well with a different group that might just want the 6 weeks and just the meditations.
Sounds wonderful. So that's starting next year, yeah?
Yeah, in Feb. I've started advertising it in my Facebook group, actually. So I've got a Facebook group called Transformational Goddesses Circle. And I'd pretty much every Monday I'd do a meditation in there every Monday morning, like Motivational Monday, Magic Monday. And then on a Wednesday night, I do Q&A, words of wisdom.
So where can people find out about you? How can people connect with you?
Yeah, awesome. So you can find me on Facebook at Liz Ross, Liz space RASS. Instagram is LizzieBlue1989. And I've got a website, www.lizross.com.au. So that'll go through my services. There's like 12 testimonials and video testimonials on there, a little snippet about me and the programs I offer. My business is called Evolve and Become. So it's all about evolving and becoming who we are and that growth. So it's sort of very symbolic. And I came across that name about 6 to 8 months after the bullying incident. I wanted people to know that just because we might have come from a life or had really bad life situations happen, that we can come out the other end of that with the right support, the right tribe. And yeah, so it's an interesting name for a business, but I like the butterfly because the butterfly transforms from the cocoon to a butterfly. So I'm excited to share.
That's right. The name is you. One of my favorite parts is interesting.
Yeah. You should totally get a shirt. Madelaine makes shirts. She's got affirmation cards, which is something I want to do, shirts and cards down the track.
Well, Tara that we've spoken to on these calls last week, I think it will be, she made me a beautiful t-shirt that says interesting ... on it. It's really,
I love it.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I do wear that one. She's amazing. So she created that for me, which is really exciting. So
that is so cool. You should wear it in one of your next one of the recordings.
Interesting. Yes. It's been absolutely amazing to talk to you as always, Liz. Thank you. And I hope that people will join your tribe. Maybe they can. What was the name of your tribe on Facebook?
Transformational Goddesses Circle. So it's a private Facebook group for women, and you just answer the questions. If you put your email in there, I can send you a weekly meditation in an email as well. They're 8 minutes. Transformational Goddesses Circle.
Wonderful.
Spaces.
Yeah, that's great. So that's a great way to connect with you a little bit more one-on-one. Check out your website, see what you're up to. Thank you for joining us. It's really great to see a student that's not even finished the course be so ahead, making things happen already. It shows your strength, it shows your vision, it shows your drive. It's really exciting to see, and it's lovely to feature you, and hopefully this will inspire a lot of students or people that are already students, people that are looking to do this course.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything's possible. Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
Thank you.